I wouldn't know that Jesus is a friend. Won't he be a friend? He's a friend to the friendless. He's a mama to the mamas. He's a daddy to the fathers. He'll be there. He'll rock you all night long. Way over in the midnight hour. Way over in the midnight hour. My God's gonna turn it around. Have you turned it around for you? Have you ever tried him? I wish I had a church in here. Have you ever tried him for yourself? Let me come down and talk to you. Have you ever called on him and he showed up? When he showed up, my God will show out. I know that he's able. Yeah, I know that he's able. I done tried him for myself. I really understand that weeping may endure for the night. But I know God. Yeah, I know God. He'll turn it around. And around. The more they talk about me, the more I'm going to pray. The more they talk about a shallow, the more we going to pray. I'm trying to tell you, I feel the Lord in this place right now. I feel like I'm going to run on and see what the end. I'm going to run on and see what the end is going to be. Yeah, I'm so glad trouble don't last. It don't last always. I'm so glad. Yeah, I got a home on high. They tell me that it's 3 gates in the east. They tell me it's 3 gates in the west. They tell me it's 3 gates in the north. It's 3 gates in the south. There may 12 gates to the city. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! I'm so glad. I'm so glad that God touched me one Sunday morning. I'm so glad I came down the aisle. I gave a preacher my hand, but I swear I gave God my heart. Has anybody gave him? I gave him their heart. Has anybody in this church? I can't see that you gave him your heart. Don't fool me now. Way over. I promise you he will. He'll turn around. Just keep holding on, shallow. Just keep holding on. Don't give up. Don't give up. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm gonna leave you when I tell you. I'm gonna leave you when I tell you. There was an old woman. There was an old woman. She was always jumping. She was always jumping. Dr. Richie, every time I seen her, when she came in the church, she sit on the front row, and she was always jumping. I couldn't figure it out. I seen a woman on Monday at the dollar store. She was still jumping. When I seen her Tuesday at the doctor's office, she was still jumping. At bingo on Wednesdays, she was still jumping. In the mall on Thursdays, she was still jumping. When I seen her on Friday, she was still jumping. So the next Sunday, I asked the lady, I said, excuse me, miss, why are you always jumping? I said, every time I look at you, you always jumping. I said, your children have left you. Your husband been dead. You ain't got no money. But every time I see you, you always jumping. The woman told me, spell the word jump. I said, J-U-M-P. She said, no, young preacher, that's how you spell it. I spell the word Jesus. Do you understand my praise? Is there anybody in here? Did Jesus understand your praise? Is there anybody in here? You ought to stand on your feet. You ought to testify. I said, stand on your feet. Has he ever done anything for you? Has he ever done anything for you? Wrap your arms around your neighbor. Rock them and shake them. Shake them and rock them. And tell your neighbor, you don't know like I know what the gonna look for me, y'all. And I will. Y'all be gone. Dr. Richie, I'm going up to glory. I'm gonna sing and shout. Won't be nobody there to turn me out. About Christ. You may just simply falling out of fellowship with the Lord. Don't worry about who's sitting beside you, because their life ain't right either. I just have to go and tell you. But you can come by letter. You can come by restoration. You can come by Christian experience. Candidate for baptism. The doors of the church are open. Don't put off for tomorrow what you need to do today. The doors of the church are open. Won't you come? The doors of the church are open. Don't let this time get by you. The doors of the church are open. The doors of the church are open. Turn it over to God. Whatever you're going through, whatever it is, just turn it over to God. It don't matter what you've done. What they say you did that you didn't do. You know how they do you. The doors of the church are open. Won't you come? The doors of the church are open. If they're not in it, I leave it in the hands of the just God. You may be seated. At this time, we're going to prepare our hearts and minds for our offering. If our officers will come.